welcome back to the channel. So I'm still here working on Christmas presents, and one of the next things that I wanted to get done is kind of a long drawn out story. On the workbench in front of me you can see I've got pen parts laid out yet again. So this is an interesting one. I mentioned once before in a previous video that Grandpa left me, well, Grandpa left, not me, but I ended up with all of his turning stuff, and in that was a lot of pen kits. Unknown to me, apparently Grandpa was very well known for turning pens in his local community, and he gave them away as gifts. It was something that apparently he really enjoyed to do and was very good at it. I found out later on that he turned a lot of pens and handed them out to all of his friends and family, and it was something he was kind of known for. This was very interesting for me to find out, and like I said, in his stuff I found several pen kits that were not even opened. They were still sealed in the original packaging. A lot of pen blanks, a lot of small turning tools for doing pens and stuff like that. So I still have a handful of these pen kits that are still sealed in the original packaging, and according to this, they are referred to as Parker style pens. I've looked all over, and nobody's really selling anything like that anymore, or at least they've named it something else. I can't figure out what it is they're talking about. I don't see any of the kits, you know, at like Rockler or Penn State or anything like that, or maybe I'm just looking for the wrong thing. So if you guys can point me in the right direction, if they're still making these kits, that would be really cool too. One of the struggles that I had was that the bushing set that Grandpa had in his kit with all of these pen kits, the Parker style pens take a 3-piece bushing, because there's 2 different barrels that you need to turn, and the bushing set that he had only had 2 bushings. So it was either missing a bushing or it's not the correct bushing kit. I tried going to Rockler to get a bushing set for it, and they didn't even know what I was talking about. So I bought something there that looked very similar, at least in the pictures it looked very similar. And when I got home, I found out it was not the right size because the barrels would not fit over the bushing. So I checked with my local Rockler affiliate store, which is a really cool mom and pop called Sumner Woodworking. Any of you guys in the Seattle-Tacoma area, I suggest you check those guys out. They're really awesome. They pointed me to this particular bushing set, and it looks correct. And what I've noticed is it fits the barrels the way that it should. So I'm optimistic that this might be the right bushing set. I tried to turn one of these before and it came out wrong, probably because I had the wrong bushing set. So I'm going to attempt one more of Grandpa's old pen kits using this bushing set in the hopes that it comes out correct. Now, here's another twist. This particular blank was in Grandpa's stash with all of his other pen blanks, still sealed in the original packaging. When I picked it up and looked at it, my brother-in-law said, "That's mine." And I asked him, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he said, "Grandpa was going to make me that pen." So I'm going to make him this pen. And this is going to be his Christmas gift from me. So this video is going to air after Christmas because I know he watches my videos and I don't want him to see that he's getting this yet. So we're going to attempt to take this pen blank and finish what Grandpa didn't get to do. Let's go for it. Okay, we got our blanks drilled. We're ready to put the tubes in it. We need to glue these in. Um, this is a job for the Star Bond, so we're going to super glue those in. I will say, while working with this blank, whatever it is, it smells like CA glue when you're drilling it or cutting it or anything. So it's a very strange blank. I assumed it was resin, but I've never worked with a resin blank that smelled like CA glue like this one does. Anyway, here's the thing. These Parker kits, it's kind of strange because in the directions here it says, and this is a weird one, tube 2 must be parted off for pen assembly. Measure a distance 1/8 inch up from the point where tube 2 meets the bushing. Part this section of material off from the brass tube. What that means is that tube has to stick out on one end a certain distance, 1/8 inch to be exact. Now this is one of the struggles that I had on the other pen that I tried to turn. Not only was one of the barrels turned too small to match up to all of the pen kit, but I don't think I got it parted off right, and the pen doesn't actually operate the way that I think it should. But Grandpa left me clues in his stuff. There's a lot of pen parts and half-finished projects in his case, and I found this one here, and that shows where you need to part that thing off. Now my theory is I can just glue it in with that part sticking out, flush off the other end, and we'll be good. So I'm going to use this as a template. When I push that bushing down in there, I'm going to try to grab it by that lip, and we're going to push it, and it should stop right at the right spot, right? Maybe. We'll see. Let's give it a try. Okay, we got them glued up. That didn't work like I wanted it to at all. The CA glue started to set up really fast, and it didn't want to move at all. The hole was pretty snug, and then it dawned on me that I can't leave that tube hanging out there because, well, it has to flush up to the bushings, right? And how would I turn that diameter if it was hanging out there? So we're going to have to figure out that parting off a little bit better than I did last time. So anyway, we're going to give this CA glue a little bit of time to dry up a bit, and then we'll get this thing on the mandrel, get over to the lathe, start making a pen out of it. All right, I think we're done with the turning. I think we're going to get with the sandpaper now and work it from there. Being a resin blank, I'm going to sand this one a little bit differently. Normally with wood, I would just go up to 400 grit. I'm going to take this one up a lot farther than that. Then I'm going to break out the micro meshes and wet sand it and try to polish it up real good. So I'm just trying to sneak up on it. You know, it's a resin blank. I don't have a lot of, I don't have any carbide bits. So I'm just trying to sneak up on it and not let it get away from me. But I'm pretty happy with the shape I've got on this. And then we're going to just work it with the sandpaper from here. So let's get to that. Okay, I'm really super happy with the way this sanded up. That was probably way more sanding than I've ever done on any of my projects, but man, does that thing look stunning. So here's the part that scares me. We've come to the part where I have to part off that little piece right there. And quite frankly, it scares the crap out of me because I want to make sure that I get it right so that the pen functions correctly. I don't want to get a run back and screw this thing all up and have to redo it again. So this part's really got me nervous. I'm going to cross my fingers. We're going to grab some tools, try not to screw this up. Wish me luck. Okay, that was pretty nerve-wracking, I gotta admit. I know somewhere out there, Dave is just laughing at me. I wasn't real sure how to go about parting that thing off, and then it dawned on me that I remembered in his kit there were a bunch of these really small tools, and I couldn't ever figure out what he was using all of these for, and then I thought, you know what? Maybe there's a parting tool in there that's just the right size. So I know, somewhere out there, he's laughing at me. Like I said, he left me clues, but I didn't catch them all. So I think that we've got that parted off exactly right. So hopefully it comes out right. We're about to put it together, and we're going to find out. So let's see how this goes. As always, using the lathe as a press to press all these pen parts together. If you guys would like to join my Patreon, that money would go directly towards buying cool things like one of those fancy pen presses to press all these together without using my lathe. Check the link in the video description below. Alright, let's get to assembling this pen, shall we? So I've got the front barrel already pressed together. Spring and the ink cartridge goes in there. Transmission will go on here. Screw that together. Upper barrel needs the clip on it, and then we screw the top cap on it. And then press this all together. There you go. One working pen. Alright, I'm pretty happy with the way this one came out. I didn't put any finish on this at all. It's a resin pen blank, so I just polished it up to 12,000 grit, and I think that works well enough. This is a super pretty pen. That blank's really awesome. I really hope my brother-in-law loves this thing, and I hope that Grandpa Dave is happy that I finished his project. So if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Click that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. If you guys loved watching me finish Grandpa's project, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.